Hello, I'm Gerard and you're watching my very first movie review for GB Posters. Today I'm going to be reviewing Elysium. In 2009, director Neil Blomkamp made an incredible impression with District 9, a viciously exciting and darkly funny allegory about alien migration and human cruelty. 4 years later, and Blomkamp is back with an expanded budget and that same taste for razor-sharp satire with Elysium. If you want an illustration of how good a filmmaker Neil Blomkamp is, look no further than Elysium's opening. Where most directors would spend about half an hour establishing their future world, Neil Blomkamp manages it in 2 minutes with a handful of shots. It's the year 2154 and the gap between the rich and the poor is a chasm. The richest few live in gilded luxury on a space station orbiting Earth called Elysium, while the poor live in a huddle of favelas on Earth where they're guarded over a brutally efficient android police force. Like District 9, Elysium is a mix of social commentary and action. And in case you're worrying that its expanded budget and starrier cast was going to blunt Neil Blomkamp's grittier edge with District 9, fear not. Elysium is almost, but not quite, as blood-splattered and violent as District 9 was. A pumped-up, shaven-headed Matt Damon stars as Max, a put-upon factory worker who is scrounging around in the ruins of LA, attempting to put his criminal past behind him. Max's grim fortunes take an even worse turn when an industrial accident leaves him with radiation poisoning and he only has a handful of days left to live. Knowing that the citizens of Elysium have access to Medipod technology that can potentially save his life, he has to find a way of getting up to Elysium. To do this, he turns to an old criminal friend, Spider, as played by Elite Squad's Wagner Moura. Max's body is augmented with an exoskeleton that basically gives him the same power as the robot droids, the police, the bad... But standing in the way of Max and Elysium are a range of obstacles, including Secretary Delacour, as played by Jodie Foster with a rather strange glass-cut accent. She ensures that Elysium is kept migrant-free. But scariest of all is Charlotte Copley's psychotic mercenary, Kruger. From beginning to end, from those opening shots of the beautiful Elysium contrasting with the dirt of future LA, to the chaotic ending, Elysium is absolutely beautiful. We've already seen some incredibly rich world building this year with Oblivion, but Elysium is even more detailed and vast. If anything, it looks even more expensive than its $120 million budget implies. Everything from the ungainly yet powerful police droids to the tattoos of earthly characters' bodies have been given the same level of attention. There's always the impression of a much larger world lurking outside the frame. While preppy bureaucrats like William Fincher's Carlisle drive around in beautifully, gorgeously designed Bugatti spaceships, Matt Damon and his friends drive around in old modified Nissans and wield AK-47s that have been modified to fire high-tech bullets. Big detail is good. It's a retrofitted make do and mend future, a place where old laptops and vehicles have been patched up and maintained well beyond their sell-by date. As in District 9, Blomkamp shows the same boyish fascination with elaborate explosives and heavy ordnance. There are exploding ninja stars, heat-seeking body armour-piercing bullets, and a huge array of other stuff that I'm going to leave you to discover for yourselves. But if anything, the deadliest weapon in Elysium is Kruger, Charlotte Copley's bearded ranting sociopath. He is a heartless killer who spends his days off cooking barbecues on his rooftop terrace, but then at the click of Jodie Foster's fingers, he's become one of the most memorable and formidable villains I've seen this year. Essentially, Elysium is an expensive film about immigration and the redistribution of wealth, something that I'm surprised the Daily Mail have not choked on their cornflakes about yet. For a mainstream action film, this is pretty strong stuff, and Blomkamp has shown an admirable amount of nerve for even getting Elysium made at all, let alone at this budget level and with so much violence in it. Elysium is so beautifully packaged, it is a shame that sometimes the story is quite linear and easy to predict. Unlike District 9, which introduced a morally bankrupt protagonist who got dragged kicking and screaming towards redemption, Elysium introduces a more straightforward tale of good versus bad. In the hands of a lesser director, this could have been quite a forgettable film. So it is all to Blomkamp's credit that it managed to hold my attention from start to finish. The world building, the pace and the action were also effortlessly staged and breathtakingly pulled off. It simply sweeps along from one set piece to the next. Following the Oscar-nominated success of District 9 couldn't have been easy, but Blomkamp has managed it. Rather than temper his interests and filmmaking style to appease cash-hungry studios, he's gone in his direction. He's bravely pressed ahead and made the film he wanted to make. And once again, the director's strength is matched behind the camera with Charlotte Copley pitched against Matt Damon's necessarily benign everyday man. He's the film's sick beating heart. Stunning to look at and often breathlessly exciting, Elysium is another fantastic genre film from Blomkamp. As long as he keeps making exciting and individual sci-fi films like this, I'll keep going to the cinema to watch them. Thank you, I've been Gerard Groves, and I hope you have enjoyed this very first GB Posters review. Expect plenty more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and subscribe to me as well if you like. and I'll see you later. Thank you.